This is Prateek from Wani, and I have here with me Ivar from Enslaved. Thanks for talking to us, Ivar. How are you doing today?
Doing very well. Thanks for having me on your show.
So let's jump right in. Let's talk about your new album that's coming out next month. You guys have done this several times over the years, but are there any nerves about how the fans are going to receive the new album, and how do you deal with such high expectations from the band?
The expectations from the fans is one of the biggest inspirations that we have when making our music. It's absolutely something that drives us on. I never, for some reason, we never felt pressure in a negative sense. The
Uh-huh.
more people place their expectations into our music, the more we just feel like it makes Enslaved relevant, and it's cool to know that people have this kind of almost like a bit that they feel a bit of an ownership on in terms of where they want the slave to go on, and so on, which is great. And I really enjoy that people are that much into it. And it seems this time there's a huge attention around the new album, which is also great. And as people hear a little bit here and there from the album, the positive response has been overwhelming so far. So I can't wait to see how it goes when it comes out.
Yeah, great, great. I've been listening to the album on repeat, and it's fantastic. So,
Thank you.
but yeah, personally, for the band, how satisfied are you with the final product that you'll be releasing?
Yes, we're very very much satisfied with the album. That it's again, I would say, a huge step for us in the direction that we want to go.
Uh-huh.
Our ambition is always to try and realize more of our sort of artistic vision. That's the main goal.
Okay.
We have a feeling of where we want to take our music, but again, that's the great thing. It's an abstract concept, and we're never going to get completely there. I think if I ever had a thought like, "Oh, this is perfect. Now everything is perfect," that would mean that either I've gone completely insane or that I had lost my interest or something like that. It would be a very negative sign. So for me, yeah, it's a huge step. I'm very satisfied with the effort we put into it, and it's a great snapshot of the time the band is in now. Uh, at the same time, it's a very demanding a thing that demands us to work harder, that we need to move on and progress. So it's definitely an album. I'm more pleased with this one than any album before, but still, it's a long way ahead.
Yeah. Um, you recently released a track called Teresa's Dreaming from the album. How has the response been to the track so far?
That's been great. We released it with a video that I think gave people a good insight into the album and that kind of the sound of the album, and people are totally giving a
Yeah,
great response to the song.
great.
So good start.
Yeah. The track was released with a lyric video. Will there be a full-fledged music video of this track or any other track on the album?
Yes, we will have one more lyric video, which is probably going to be the song 1000 Years of Rain.
Okay.
Uh, and then we're looking now. It's a little bit hard because of all the tour scheduling that's popping up, but I think there will probably be like a full-scale music video for the song Building with Fire. Is probably the one.
Okay. Uh-huh.
You just have to find a director that's crazy enough to do a music video for an 8-minute song.
Yeah. Um, okay. I felt that the album is more aggressive than its predecessors, while still featuring the quieter, beautiful parts. Was it a
Nice.
conscious, yeah, was it a conscious effort to bring in more of your black metal roots back, or is this something that just happened?
It's definitely something that just happened out of, I guess, the place that we were in. I think now that the album is yeah, it's finished and being released in the world, I've had some more time to analyze and contemplate how that could be, because that's one of the first thing I heard myself, that's really connecting even further back than we've done in a long time. But the feeling, it's not maybe not that surprising, because a lot of the feeling in the band and how we relate to the band has been quite similar to how those first years were. And also, the way we work with more of working in the rehearsal room more again. We had some years that we worked a lot with demoing and studio work and computers and so on, but now we're a little bit more going back and using old techniques, which is basically just being 5 guys in the rehearsal room and working things out there instead of clever solutions with the recording software and so on.
Yeah, fantastic.
Which is a good strategy. That could definitely have something to do with it. And also the touring around the world and going new places like Australia and so on, where you meet people that's had a very close relationship to our music for so many years. And to meet those people and so on, that could also, I guess, be inspiring in such a way.
Another thing that I loved about the album was how easily you would jump from the darker sections with the harsh vocals and evil riffs to the atmospheric sections and the really beautiful softer sections with clean vocals. So how was the songwriting process thought out for these sections? Was there a riff as a backbone and you built around it? How was it done?
Yeah, I still work in the same manner that we've done all the time, where I work quite sequentially. Like I would start out with the beginning of the song. Sometimes if there's an intro, it might go into like the first riff. But always at the beginning, and then I work sort of in a modular sense from that. It might just be like the framework or the chords or whatever of the first part, and then you can move on and until the entire song, the idea for the song is sort of sketched out on a not always very detailed level, and then it's working with all the parts sort of in parallel and developing them also in relation to each other. I guess that's one of the reasons, or like one of the strategies that have worked in terms of exactly that, and getting the dynamics between the aggressive and the more mellow parts to fit together. Because it's easily, it becomes sort of, if the same kind of dynamics are used all the time, with just going from very quiet to very harsh back and forth, then they sort of lose their meaning as individual song parts if they're just there to contrast something else. And I guess that's what we've been aiming for, is getting the more proggy, melodic, whatever, all the stuff that we associate with new Enslaved, to give them sort of their proper place, so that they can sort of have their own existence and not only be something that exists in relation to sort of the harder stuff. And I guess that's what makes a thing that makes me very proud with the new album, that these different sort of band identities have become integrated.
Great. Enslaved has changed quite a lot from where it started as a straight up black metal band, and the band has been continually progressing and experimenting. So what has kept the band going in this path of experimentation, and where do you see the band going from here?
Yeah, what's motivating us is that we are sort of just these little milestones that we come to, that we have an ambition that we would love to have, like a section like this or that, or it could be something that's totally like independent of anything else. It's just start out and want a song that has a certain crescendo or a certain dynamic, whatever.
Yeah.
And you come closer to realizing it, your musical dream, that the finalized product, when you put it on the player and listen to it, then it sounds close to what you want to achieve. That's a motivation, because you see that you keep doing it better. Of course, it's the external things with how people react to it, and you get to tour more of the world, and sort of the music, keeping the music alive, sort of out there. And it's the personal gratification as instrumentalists also, I guess, that you become better at playing. So it's for us, it's, I guess, each band have to find find a style and a way of working that is sure to produce inspiration and satisfaction in the band, and that's the way, you know, we relate to music. Is we like stuff that develops and progresses and so on. We, you know, prog metal or prog rock lovers. So I guess people who are more of traditionalists and sort of conservative in how they want music to be, it will make more sense to be in a sort of a Motorhead-ish, AC/DC kind of thing, where you it's just a different approach, you know. It is the same, but just different methods. Where that method is, you found a formula and then you sort of do micro variations on that. But for us, that whole thing of finding new things and new formulas all the time is what drives us. So we're trying to stay true to sort of the kind of musical people we are.
Okay, yeah. So when it comes to the kind of progressive music you play, who would you say are some of your most important influences?
I would say that you have a foundation which is like the classics from quite a few different genres. Of course, coming from extreme metal and black metal, all that stuff. It's of course early, like the Mysterious of Satanas by Mayhem and the first two sort of black metal albums by Dark Throne, A Blazing of the Sky and Infernal Moon. I'd say that trio of albums is extremely important. And then of course it's the pre-black metal stuff, especially Bathory. Being a big one, Celtic Frost can't be avoided. And then there's the classic heavy metal stuff with Maiden, Motorhead, the classic rock with AC/DC, Led Zepp, those guys. And then there's the big ones from the prog scene, Genesis, Rush, Yes, and so on. So I guess even in all our experimentation and sort of attempts of being cutting edge, we still gravitate towards sort of the classics of the genres. But then we got, you know, variations within the band too. Myself, I like quite a lot of newer styles. I'm very enthusiastic about anything from Meshuggah to some cool whatever Michael Gira and the guys from Swans are up to. I tend to like that. I like some noise, droney stuff, doomy stuff, whatever's atmospheric and sort of energized. I'll be into it. You have Gutle, the singer. He's a bit of an archaeologist, so he likes stuff that's made in tiny villages in weird places in the 60s and so on. That exists in 2 copies in the universe, and he's trying to get hold of one of them. So that sort of combination, I guess we cover a lot of ground between us.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about touring. So you'll be touring North America throughout next month, and I'll be seeing you in San Diego actually.
Cool.
Yeah. I believe there are a few festivals you would be playing in Europe as well.
Yes, we will. We'll start when we get back from the US tour. We'll do a bunch of European festivals: Norway, Netherlands, Iceland, France. Yeah, there's really a lot of UK. Going back to Bloodstock, so it's good. It's pretty much every weekend from we get home from the US and until it's autumn.
Oh, okay. So you played in India before. Any
Yeah.
any plans on going to India in the near future as a part of the tour for the new album, perhaps?
No, nothing concrete, no. But now I think when if people were interested in bringing us back, it would be we would definitely be interested in that to talk
Yeah,
with them about that because now it's been there twice.
yeah,
We have people we know over there, and the scene is growing. Now it's like when we went there the first time in 2007 or
7.
eight,
Yeah, 7.
7, yeah.
Yeah,
It was quite a novelty thing.
yeah,
In terms of not so many bands had been there and so on, but things did we noticed when we came back in 2010
yeah,
that people had when we talked to our friends down there that the shows they'd seen the last time it had really changed, and you see it on the internet also that people make a stop in India a lot more often than you
yeah,
saw just a few years back.
yeah,
So yeah, I guess there's a lot of bands that the promoters want to bring over, and but in a little time they'll start bringing over bands that has already been over there the
okay,
first time. So that's when
yeah,
we'll be coming, I guess.
yeah. Um, as we come closer to the end of this interview, I would like to ask you a tricky question. If you had to describe your new album in times in a single sentence, how would you describe it?
Would describe it as a fusion of Nordic extreme metal with uh, progressive rock. Yeah. I'll go for the easy one actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Ivar, it's been pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much, and best of luck for the release and the touring and everything. Yeah.
Likewise. Thank you. It's a very nice interview. Good talking to you, man.